Isley Brothers, they were delivering album after album after album after album, and you have to go like this. That's crazy.
And
But,
it was coming out of their own company, most of it.
and this is what
Most recording company.
They had it locked. And the crazy thing is, we just didn't get all the content that Andraé Crouch was releasing because of the time and period. 68 he released that album. 71 he released that one. 72 he released that one.
That's right.
It's 73. I need to get that live at Carnegie Hall, 75 he did 76, he did 78. You know what I'm saying? That's with the Disciples solo albums. 72, 79, 81, 82, 84, 96, 94, 97, 98, 2006, 2011, and live in LA 2 years before he died.
Affinity Extra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Yeah. People, this is Roger Moore here from the Affinity Extra Celebrated Gospel Music of Black Origin. This is how we do it. We're doing a show which I've been passionate about since learning more about it, which is history of black music. Now, you could be one of the ones out there going to myself and alongside my co-host Kevin Tomlin when it comes to this area. You are going, you guys never do gospel music. You guys always talk about black. And I keep on saying the model of success is for black music, black gospel music is going to be look at the success in America. What black music has done through all the issues that they've had in the 60s, in the 70s, right up into the 80s. You know what I'm saying? The issues that they had, and they still succeeded and become the best. Now, we are now going to go into gospel. We're going to touch some stuff with gospel icons and and the joke is, guys, when you talk about East Coast and West Coast, we always think of East Coast and West Coast when it comes to rap. You know what I mean? Like Biggie versus with Tupac and California. You know what I mean? And you think about the battles of rap. That's my generation stuff. But then you don't realize that West Coast is actually, when it comes to music terms, when it comes to black music, is a term for a sound. And I'm thinking, there's actual West Coast sound. And you go, okay, so we've got sounds in different areas. And we've got artists which actually exemplate, if that's the right word.
Exemplate?
Express that sound in optimal level and something to be... And we're going to deep dive on the success of gospel artists in the US in the areas of a sound, and they were not second best. They were out there with the best. So, Kevin, West Coast, what areas was West Coast? Was West Coast including Seattle, or was it just the sunshine side of it?
Well, the West Coast was mainly the part where we focus on is Los Angeles, actually, and the surrounding areas.
Okay, LA.
LA, yes. Cleveland, James Cleveland with Aretha Franklin.
You know what? I thought James Cleveland was Chicago.
No, well, he probably might be. I can't remember exactly. But is it the level of his success? Remember that he had a church in Chicago, in Los Angeles, rather.
Okay.
Where Aretha Franklin recorded the first multi-platinum gospel live album.
Come on now. Yeah, we know about that one. Yeah.
That's where it was recorded.
Yeah.
And our friend, our good friend, what's his name? Rolling Stone brethren was there. Mick Jagger.
I remember seeing the video. And he's skinny little white guy go up front and he goes, "That's Mick Jagger. What's he doing that gospel gig?" You know, the one and stuff. When it comes to musical excellence,
doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, just to jump on that, we'll get to that. Mighty Clouds of Joy actually supported the Rolling Stones on live recording.
Okay.
When they were one of the supporting acts. That's the level that the Mighty Clouds of Joy excelled to. But we'll get to that. We'll talk about that later on. right now we're talking about the definitive and creative power of Andrew Crouch and Sandra Crouch from the West Coast.
So Andraé Crouch is West Coast.
Yes, he's West Coast, brother.
Okay.
That's where he started all his recording.
Okay,
we got at least one album there that actually showed his extraordinary excellence as a production.
Okay.
Bill Maxwell. But let's just look at this.
Go on.
With Andrew Crouch in particular, he was the first gospel artist to use horns. Yes, he was one of the first to use horns, and the whole ensemble of it, brass section.
And you can imagine that wasn't. And I know Andrew Crouch, guys, he got persecuted because his sound was very commercial, I would say.
It was rather contemporary.
Contemporary, that's the word. That's the word.
Considering the traditional gospel sound in particular that was coming out in many of the neighborhoods of various different churches.
Well, it's saying here that he was born. Obviously, he's got twin sister, which we know about, Sandra Crouch.
Yes.
Who just died this year, was it? Yes. Sad. They were PKs by what I can tell. His dad's a minister.
That's correct.
and he ministered. And they were born in San Francisco, California.
Yes.
So just right the corner from the LA, but in the Californian state. There's a lot of cities in that area that we know well. You know what I mean? San Francisco.
Slide Stones from there.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's where that funkiness comes from, yeah.
And San Francisco, getting to San Francisco itself, because it's a very interesting city, because everybody thinks of LA, but San Francisco itself, it's like a two-part city. I'm sure it's like a two-part city. You got San Francisco, and then you got the other side. I'll just get some information.
The Bay.
Yeah, it's right next. It's right there. So, but either way, it was Kojic. Now, I keep on saying to people about Kojic. Kojic is one of the few African churches in America, in the Pentecostal movement, if not one of the rare few, where it's actually black, birthed out of, by black people.
It's a birthed out of
black experience. It's not a hand-me-down or a side handle or a branch of a white church. And what you find is when you're in an environment musically, it's clearly by its success of the people that have come out of that church, the stars that have come out of that church, that Black's music success was part of its mantra. But the other churches that we're part of, I'm not saying no success come out of it, but it's not by coincidence that Kojic is the leader when it comes to delivering absolute amazing top end gospel. That's their mantra. That's what part of them. They're not here to block you. You're part of their expression. You are the church. Is you.
It's called a sonic DNA, which is impregnated into their psychic and their spirit. So when you're hanging around excellence, it tends to go into your creative DNA, and you sort of aspire to that level of sonic brilliance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You want to get up to that level. Now, the thing about it, which is quite fascinating, Phil Finingade and everybody who has been responsible for the success of Thriller and Off the Wall and so on, a lot of them, their family members and so on, are from Kojak and all those places.
Okay, yeah.
They come from that. So that's the issue, and also some of the top end, classically trained musician is from there as well. So why are you surprised when, on many occasions, you have benchmark recordings by our Black brothers?
Yeah. Okay.
One should not be surprised. Because of the level. And remember, another thing with these artists and composers, they go to Berkeley or Juilliard, one of the musical conservatories around the country. Sometimes they go abroad, just so in Paris and so forth, to get their musical education and creative intelligence.
Yeah. This
Does it make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
You're checking it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, 100%. Guys, I was checking into just the look of San Francisco. And one thing I have to say, America don't ramp about with size of cities, but then with America, what I do find is that when you got things like, as you would know, in Florida, Fort Lauderdale,
yes,
I thought it was a total different city to Miami, but it's like almost part of an urbanization.
Yes,
like
that's right.
it all blends.
Because it's municipals.
I thought it was a total different
It's
city.
Municipals.
Okay.
Because you in Fort Lauderdale is part of Broward County.
Okay.
Which is the county.
Yeah.
And then you have the different municipals within the county.
Yeah.
I used to live in the city of Lauderdale.
Okay,
which is
okay.
about 25 to 30 minutes from Miami.
That's what I'm saying to you. You think it's
30
miles
to
away.
50.
You think
No, it's
not like it's more like a Croydon and London thing,
Yes, that's
rather
right.
than a Birmingham and London. So I thought before London.
But remember, one thing you need to understand
Go on.
is that they have their own municipal and they have their own sheriffs.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's not like it's like a much
Yeah.
deeper. It's like Birmingham and London being actually squashed together.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at if you imagine now, if you got a gospel circuit now going on in San Francisco, you can go over to Oakland,
Yes.
which is another city.
Well,
Yeah,
Oakland,
yeah.
I think the Orkins are from Oakland, actually. Oakland, if I remember.
Okay.
So
See-
it's a conglomerate of it's a connective
Wow.
city where
So
the musicians have travelled
listen,
up and
imagine,
down.
So this is very reminiscent of our community when they talk about in the 80s and 90s. We're traveling all around the place between Manchester and Birmingham, and it thrived because of
the
a
sound,
circuit.
yeah.
And then in San Jose, which is again part of it. So if you see here, Kevin, as you can
San
see here,
Jose, yes,
it's
it's
all
all
like
part of-
San Francisco,
it is.
San Jose,
Yes.
Oakland. Oakland's literally across the
Yes,
bridge,
yes,
and
that's
it's just
right.
like you're thinking these are all one big massive cosmopolitan. And then Sacramento's just up the road. You know, see, these are all major cities.
Remember Barry White and all of them hang around those places.
Right,
The Barry Whites.
right.
When Motown moved to the West Coast,
Yeah.
it pick up all the top end musicians
Yeah.
out there, like the Gene Page, the late
Yeah.
Gene Page.
Yeah.
The string arrangers. Master,
Yeah.
master at composition.
So the creatives will bump into each other. So
Always.
yes,
Yes, always.
you know, and on a fine musician. So just to know, guys, it's just geographically we've got to understand.
geographically sound, yes, geographically
but
sound.
sometimes you can think that the area that you grow up
That's
in,
right.
these guys are born into a space which had a West Coast sound. So they were West Coast people, but in the end of the day, they were in a circuit. And in these cities, San Francisco, it's not in the deep south where you got 80% of the city is black or something like Atlanta. You only got 15-20% of the population is black. So we're in a very similar situation that we find ourselves in London, in the Birminghams, where we're not a major percentage, we're a small percentage, but there's still great came out to that scenario.
Well, let's put it this way. The LA, the Face record was based in Atlanta.
Okay.
Which produced the Ushers and the Tony Braxtons, etc. West Coast produce, we're just going off track a bit, the Bill Weathers of the world, the Commodores, and also the Barry Whites.
West Coast.
And then don't forget the Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce came out of that.
So
And
West
so,
Coast, yeah.
the thing about it's a collection of master musicians, top end, the best string arrangers, the best recording engineers, the best songwriters.
Yeah, man.
So they all actually contributed to the overall excellence of the sonic collection, and then it gives it a brand, a sonic brand, a sonic identity, which is synonymous to that area.
Yeah.
Synonymous.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that, and how do they arrive at that? Through constant practice and developing their instrumentation that it becomes one with them, and then they become a unified force.
Yeah. No,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So remember, Andrew Crouch would be using Joe Sample on keyboard and as a pianist, who is famous doing the Crusaders band.
Okay, cool.
You know,
And he's working with Andrew Crouch.
And not on top of that, he probably might be working with Quincy Jones as well down the road. So they're all going from
place to place. Yeah, supporting each other. Crazy. It's amazing how creative moves.
And Andraé is supporting Brother Quincy on vocal arrangements.
Wow.
So he's a vocal tactician.
Wow.
And his sister will be supporting Motown with the Jacksons. I Want You Back on their first global multi-million single as a percussionist. I Want You Back, just looking at the contribution of these brothers and sisters, I Want You Back in the UK has done 1.8 million in the UK alone of recent. And this single was recorded during the 70s.
I Want You Back by what's it called? I Want You Back.
Yeah, by the Jacksons, yes.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
You keep me.
And Sandra Crouch was on that as the percussionist.
Wow. It's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
wait, go on to Crouch. So basically, just to give people a picture. If when I say my musical history starts with an artist, it has to say the Crouches. My dad was a Crouch fan.
Yes.
Songs from his album Take Me Back. Take Me Back was very influential. But then what was very influential for me was Live in London, because when I got my hands on Live in London, but I was recorded in 78. Now I wasn't around in 78, but 78 I was around, but I was only 2 years old. But 78, the live recording, if you listen to that album, there's nothing. You listen to Earth, Wind and Fire in the 80s and what they were doing live band wise, Andraé Crouch was on par.
Yes, it was because remember,
he the best session musicians.
Yes, he had
everybody talks about Andraé Crouch. He had the best. Now he was born. Let me just give the year that he was born, so you get an idea of he's born in 1942. Yeah.
Yes.
And he by 42, so that means 1952, 1962. So he was 20 in 62. So by he is 68. He brought out his first album. He's 68. By 1968, he brought out his first album.
That's right.
So
that's
I'm gonna probably. But you know what? 1972. You know what I just got into?
Yes.
Soulfully. Yeah. Yo, bro, like. That was straight up vibes, man. You know what I mean? Absolutely vibes album. And the joke is, I took it off Tidal Wagwan, but he's got so much. And this is, again, our problem with our digital legacy. Because of our digital legacy online, the albums that he's brought out, like, messed me up. Like Andraé Crouch, my choirs in my church. How many songs we'd seen him? Take Me Back. Which there's another song. Take Me Back, they would sing. That's the one where the youth choir used to sing all the time. Take me back. And then when they would sing their solos.
That's right.
Bro, 68. Now, I always brag about Isley Brothers and their work ethic, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Because they were banging that album after album.
Yes,
we discussed that on the Isley Brothers.
We have to do that again.
See, it was to pull out that information again, you know.
Yes,
but guys, Isley Brothers, they were delivering album after album after album after album, and you have to go like this. That's crazy.
And it was coming out of their own company, most of it.
And this is what
recording company.
They had it locked, and the crazy thing is, we just didn't get all the content that Andraé Crouch was releasing because of the time and period. 68 he released that album. 71 he released that one. 72 he released that one.
That's right.
He's 73. I need to get that live at Carnegie Hall, you know. 75 he did 76. He did 78. You know what I'm saying? That's with the Disciples solo albums. 72, 79, 81, 82, 84, 96, 94, 97, 98, 2006, 2011, and live in LA 2 years before he died.
Not only that,
2013.
Just need to say something to you. Is one of his later recordings was done through Quincy Jones' label Quest. QS.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's it right
that's
there.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mercy, mercy,
yeah.
prayer.
Yes,
Gift. Listen,
yes,
man, and
yes.
we want you guys, man, to make it
Yes.
available. His music properly available on Tidal, so we can enjoy it, man. That's
Yeah.
Tidal, but also Spotify and all the digital out there, out there still, and make it and iMusic and all the business or whatever.
Yeah.
So but you know why I need Tidal, because I use our DJ software, but. Amazing, bro. Andraé Crouch, amazing Crouch. But talk to me, what was the significance of Crouch when it comes to, as I say, data? Is that what they say in America? Data.
According to the data.
Data,
You mean data?
Is it
Well,
American? They say
data.
into the data.
Well, the thing about it, you got to remember with Andrew Crouch, he worked with a core group of musicians. We have, if you look at the credit here, you can see it, a lot of them on the credit. Bill Maxwell on drums, and Bill Maxwell was also his creative alter ego as well, because he was the one who...
Bill Maxwell.
Yeah, Bill Maxwell, beg your pardon, who actually was contributed to the sonic quality of his production. It's quite good, actually. And Bill Maxwell, Bill Maxwell, is that right?
Yeah,
so I always get mixed up. Use the best horn section, the best rhythm section coming out of LA that was available. And so Andrew Crouch used these men for over a long period of time until he actually created a signature sound. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sonically, and he used the same sound engineer as well. Notice what I said. He worked over a long period of time to get a quality sonic recording that was fluid and had its own DNA. It was recognizable. By the time he played few notes, few bars into the track, you remember we was listening to the Mighty Clouds of Joy earlier?
Yeah.
That, and you hear the Phillies, that drumming, the beat.
But there's a tune, guys, with Andraé Crouch, you know what I mean? When he goes, oh, God, just like he said he would, just like he said he would.
Yeah.
Like that crazy.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yo. Just like
And remember,
That's crazy.
Andrew Crouch became one of the highest earning gospel artists at one time.
And you know what, bro? Back then as well, he was doing some big shows, you know, in terms of Christianity.
Of course.
He actually, like, you know,
Yes.
you see him transcend into white churches at a time when,
yes.
you know what I'm saying?
It was not. It was
Billy Graham. He would be doing Billy Graham,
yes.
like you got Billy Graham now, yeah, and he's got Andraé Crouch leading worship. Going,
Yeah.
people are like this.
Brian,
Oh yes, no, it's not. Oh yes. For him to get Andraé Crouch, you know, Andraé Crouch's sound is so at a level that they had to say, listen, you come over here.
Yeah, it's sonically. So remember, Andrew Crouch was on power with many of the secular musicians.
But also,
Yes.
it's sonically, I 100% agree with you. Yeah?
Yes.
But also, Andraé Crouch,
Yes.
his music was at a dimension, like at a time where, what did we sing at church? He sang songs which connected. Like, he created hymn songs, yeah, that we will see as hymnal songs,
Yes,
like I'm
yes.
saying. So we will sing that like it's normal now,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
But they're actually songs written by Andraé Crouch.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So they all create
He was a
congregations.
brilliant
So it's almost like Israel Houghton before Israel
That's
Houghton.
right. Yeah,
He's the one
exactly.
cannoli before the one cannoli.
Yes,
he was the
exactly.
original type. So when
Yes.
you get gassed with one cannoli, you don't realize Andraé Crouch. And we're gonna go into the Hawkins. Was different to the Hawkins them because for me,
Hawkins is a different signature.
It's a different groove, man.
Yeah,
but the
different
thing
groove.
is, Andraé Crouch did the songs which he could take it and he would groove it.
Yeah.
But that same song, like there's a song that I play, yeah, and And the way it starts up, it reminds me of Lionel Richie, whatever they're still. Yeah, that's probably why it makes it sound. But we sing as a to God be the glory.
Yes.
That's Andraé Crouch sings
Yes,
that.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
I'm like, whoa! And there's a verse to it at the start.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a proper soulful introduction. Like it's what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my alarm in the morning. Sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's my alarm in the morning. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So Andraé Crouch, excited, amazing guy. As he said, top musicians.
Yeah, the thing about
top
it,
sound.
The thing about it with
Sorry,
Andraé
bro, I
Crouch-
get so excited with
No,
Andraé
it's all
Crouch,
right.
yeah.
The thing about with Andraé Crouch, it's a case study in itself.
Go on.
The creative development, his lyrics. Notice the lyrics. This is vitally important
Okay.
to the overall, and the arrangers he used. The arranger sort of collects and makes sure that the rhythm section, the horn section, the vocals are all in unison. There's a dimension, and the sound engineer makes sure that he's on a level to capture that sonic dynamics and what's going on in between the space of the sound, the beat, the groove. This in itself is a science.
Yeah. But you know what, bro? And this is when you think about it, people will go, how do they afford these top musicians?
No.
So end of the day, guys, there's a couple ways you can look at it. Yeah, I can't vouch for Andraé Crouch. Yeah, but I can vouch from my experience working with creatives. Yeah, when you're in this arena of creatives, you do each other favors. Yeah, you take care of each other. Yeah, you go, Andraé. Yo, I got a problem with these vocalists. Can you give me a hand with this?
Yes.
And I'll cover your gig there still. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're gonna realize that to get somewhere, and this is I'm not saying and this is Andraé Crouch's model, but I guarantee you he didn't need to pay certain musicians at a high rate because he could go and help them out. And this is in the secular world,
And another thing too,
go on.
It's to do with the point system and so on. They can negotiate to get points from the movement of the song.
And if I know that is a serious, and if he's serious,
okay, give me about 5% on that or 1% of it. So 1% over a period of time, it accumulates.
And if you're a serious artist, to be honest, I'll be like this. Okay, tell you what, you are so good. I just want 5% of the track, and I'll come and lay the bass for you.
Yes,
and if it works out, it works out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's done. And I think sometimes, I looked at a video. Touch Bit always talks about how he came up with the idea with Cry Me a River.
Yes,
and it took a 2,000 US and didn't know the scheme. Yeah. Maybe if you know the game and the industry, what musicians do, he says, you tell you what, you can't afford this right now. Tell you what, I'm going to lay down this idea. And I'm just gonna take 2% of of every pound.
I'm gonna give you a story. I give you a story about that.
Bro, if we start doing that, it's like not doing jobs.
Yeah. This is what Al Bell, the legendary recording executive and the former owner of Stax Record, the black label, out of Memphis, when he came down to Muscle Show to actually deal with the Muscle Show rhythm section.
Yeah.
What he did to get the best from them, I said, listen, let you have a percentage of that song. So every time the song plays, ching ching, they get a percentage. And their ancestors get a percentage.
It's ownership, bro. It's ownership.
And they come in. I can't pay you the exact amount for the studio time. So let's said okay. So let us take a percentage. So that each of the musicians, the late Roger Hawkins, who was on drums and so on, Dave Wood, and the other musicians and arrangers, part of the Marshall Show rhythm section, the one of them, the few of the guys who work on the Aretha Franklin First Million setup, they made that arrangement on several occasions with several recording artists. I think they did that with Paul Simon and several of them because they all come down to the studio and ching, ching, ching. Now, this is the thing is that if you understand the game, if you understand it very carefully and understand that these men and women knew that many of the songs was going to be hits.
Yeah.
So they know because they were mostly tacticians in their respective disciplines. You know, when you have a Larry Gold, Larry Gold was the one who did Cry Me River, the strings.
Okay. But he made sure he had his stakes into it. But then Ty messed up because he didn't. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah. You kind of messed up there, and it really shows. It shows you business and mentality of hitting it, and we need to be educated going in. But going back to Andraé Crouch, the superstar.
Yeah, go.
You know what I'm saying? And actually working with the top and the best musicians. And you know what, guys? Sometimes as a musician, let me be honest with you. When you look at somebody who's talented and serious, you would sacrifice more for that person because you get it, yeah, and your vision. And you gotta imagine Andraé Crouch when they're playing them songs, they're going, boy, this tune is sweet, boy. You know what I'm saying? And they're on it, man. On it.
And also the gentleman who started Light Records, which Andraé Crouch started. He started a label around Andraé Crouch.
Okay.
And out of that label came the Hawkins a few years on, Edwin Hawkins, and so forth. So Light Record had built up a very interesting roster of
That's
artists.
interesting how artists over here, we have had successes, but we haven't had success enough to realize, set things up business-wise that we can actually impact. Is one track like with Kirk is gospel-centric. You know what I'm saying? Them in the early hour. So we're a lot of
my gosh.
So what's the thing? You know, let's not get started on that one. That open up a can of worms right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, we'll get to that anyway. But a lot of labels succeeded because of a successful album of a trailblazer like Andraé Crouch affected the Hawkins, and I believe was Winans on that.
Yes, Winans came on it. Yes, and of course Winans' first album was produced by Andraé as well and his crew.
Okay.
So the
Winans.
The Winans' first major success was using the West Coast sound, technically speaking, before they go back to Detroit. Now, it's interesting what come out of Detroit. They worked with some legendary studios down there as well, you know, which is the birthplace for Motown Records, isn't it? But let's go down this. Now,
go on.
This is interesting with Andraé Crouch and his sister and so forth, and Danny Bell, that come out from that musical workshop, or that community rather.
Danny Bell's West Coast as well?
And Danny Bell coming, that's where she started more or less. That's where she started. She was part of Andraé Crouch and the Disciples, bro.
What?
Well, let me explain something to you.
I know Tremaine Hawkins was in the part of the Disciples, but I can imagine him just getting the best singers in the area anyway. So yeah.
Well, Tremaine wasn't. Yes, Tremaine was a bit, but it was really Bill Telford, and so forth.
Okay,
that was part of it.
Okay,
but because Tremaine Hawkins was mostly with, beg your pardon, mostly with Hawkins, Edwin Hawkins, because they both were married at one time, you know. Edwin Hawkins was married to Tremaine Hawkins.
Tremaine Hawkins as well.
Yes,
and I know she was part of Kool and the Gang. Is it called Kool and the Gang? Not Kool and the Gang. I'm everyday people, the original guy who did that. I think she was in that group. Sly.
So she's got that funky
yeah. Oh my goodness, she's San Francisco as well.
Yeah, she's a San Francisco lady. Yes.
Jeez, all the guys from the same zone.
Yes.
Church of God in Christ. Jeez.
Oh yes.
Located in Berkeley, California. Jeez.
Yes.
Heritage, you know.
Yes.
She was part of in the 70s R&B called the Honeycomb. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, the Honeycombs, the Honeycombs. If she was part of the Honeycombs, oh my goodness, they were Honeycombs, yeah. Okay, that's another subject. Yeah.
Okay. I won't click that one still. But basically, and also, and with the whole cone, the group recorded an R&B hit called "One Ads," and that made it all the way back to the gospel genre, but it's sampled by Mary for a track called Heaven.
By the way,
Yeah.
the Honeycombs is original act that came out the Holland and Dozer music empire after they left Motown.
Right.
From they recorded with Hot Wax. That is a black-owned label in Detroit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And one of the ladies in there is the wife of one of the founders of Earth, Wind and Fire, Vernal. Yes, the bass player for Earth, Wind and Fire. They're still married, actually.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Tremaine, yeah, like I said, people, that's it. She is basically, she played with, better known as, Sly and the Stones, yes.
You know what
I'm saying? So, when the Stones' older brother, the West,
Yes.
Okay, so, yo, man,
yeah, she has a rich musical influence and a journey. Actually,
she did briefly sing with the Andraé Crouch and the Disciples.
Yes, for a little while.
Yeah, for the nominated Christian Peoples, 1970.
Yeah.
She jumped on that. She jumped on that project.
Now the thing about it with Tremaine Hawkins,
go on.
If I can get my hands on some of her albums, she did some albums with her former husband and late husband, Edwin Hawkins, that was sonically of high quality. It had strings and horns. It had some of the best string arrangers and so on the West Coast. Sonically, Walter Hawkins had reached to a level of brilliance. That's why he has his own brand, because Hawkins. I know we're sliding a bit off Andraé Crouch because we have to realize that his impact is, and you have to say, Kojic, if Bishop, whatever Bishop is in charge of Kojic, whatever Bishop starts up Kojic, we salute you because we see black excellence in a city where black wasn't the majority. And you thrived, and within your circuit and within your pews, you developed world-class artists. Yes,
that came out the church and did world-class music, and also stayed in the church. And you remember when we watched the park? That was in the park, New York Park. We saw the Hawkins over there.
Yes,
it's just normal, seamless. And the man like this, yo, you right, cuz? Yeah, one more right, cuz. You thinking, this is just a seamless community. That's what I love to see, But like Andraé Crouch, absolutely crazy impact sonically, as he said. Danny Bauer Hall. Hall, is that something?
Danny Bell Hall.
Hall, yeah. So like, my goodness, like you talking about superstars. I've touched this.
Yeah, because remember,
Jeez.
with Andraé Crouch, we're just going backwards and going forward at the time because of the sonic, the talent of this man.
But I'm looking at this, man. I'm barely coming out the 70s now, yeah. He's already worked with Tremaine Hawkins. He's already worked with Denny Bauer comes involved. And they're doing things like, I need to get my hands on 1975 Carnegie Hall recording. I need to get my hands on that. You know what I mean? Where's my Spotify? Let me do some research on that. I need to find that bad boy. I need to sit down there and enjoy my Carnegie Hall with Andraé Crouch. Yeah, I'm saying.
That is just tip of the iceberg because you should hear what he did with Quincy Jones and them.
No, don't.
Vocal. Not only Quincy Jones. Oh, by the way, look at this. He did this as well with this guy.
Vic Ashley.
Yeah, he did Free, which became a contemporary number one in the US. And the backing on it was Andraé Crouch, the choir, backed that song. And that was 1991 actually.
Wow.
So Andrew Crouch was working with white British acts.
Yeah.
And then he's going working with, and at the same time he's doing stuff with Quincy.
You were talking about Soulfully.
Yes. Oh,
live at Carnegie was here, bro.
Hey,
no. It's on Spotify, that title. No.
Go back a bit now. Let's look back a bit.
So, guys, we're just going through the album now.
You got it. This one is a brilliant album.
I've been thinking of you. So forgive me, people.
The mastery.
Oh my goodness, we could have an Andraé Crouch. Listen, we'll start. You know what? We're gonna pick on people, yeah, and I might have to zoom it in, and we're just gonna look at some artists, bro, and you just watch people bawl and cry. Because people bawl and cry. Them tunes make you cry, bro.
Yeah. Because there are the soundtracks. Listen here, they're the soundtracks of our lives. Because when you look at Andrew Crouch, when he started recording, I was just past my 10 years birthday. 69, I was 12.
Jeez.
So the actual fact that all of my life,
come on now,
right as I started to raise children, this brother's sonically affecting my wife, myself, and so forth.
Bro,
when I saw him live twice, I realized the technical brilliance.
You seen him live?
Twice, yes.
Where? Which country?
I saw him here twice.
So did you see him in? Did you see him 76 when he came over?
No, but I've seen him afterwards.
At
the Hammersmith Odeon twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I saw Liam Patello when he was supporting it. Liam Patello is another one, keyboard wizard. But anyhow, let's. Right.
Okay, guys, I've got some stuff to do because you know what, guys, I do utilize Tidal a lot, and because of my software. But this is just straight up not fair. I feel like just doing the Andraé Crouch special. Yo, I'm gonna get my sister, take me back, sister. Sophie, she does a show back, and Andraé Crouch, he's got hits for days. And you know what I've liked about him? Yeah, sometimes he's tweaked tracks and re-released them.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And he does a lot of that. There's a couple of tracks which he always kind of like tweaks each time.
That one, Mercy, at Quincy Jones' label is brilliant. Quincy Jones release is another brilliant one. Yes, I have. My wife has a CD at home, so we have to get.
Yeah, my dad bought the CD.
We have a few.
Mercy was a big tune.
My wife has a few of his albums. You know.
Yeah.
Vinyls. Yes.
Wow. Love somebody. Love somebody like I know that Lord is. Nobody out there. Listen, there's some classics here. But overall, guys, you know what I mean? Is there a standout hit? And I know, guys, we sound like a fan club of Andraé Crouch. Andraé Crouch, yeah.
Take Me Back is one of his signature.
Okay, cool.
One of his signature compositions and tracks.
Would you say that that track broke him into everywhere?
One of the tracks that broke him into, should I say, into sort of into the public domain, into the public consciousness of people's listening repertoire. Listening, and or cultural awareness, worship, so forth. It became part of everyday life. A classic, that's what it is. When it becomes a consciousness, and it becomes a benchmark, a sonic benchmark that conjures out a certain human response. It leads you into worship. And it brings you into the presence of God. Brings you into the presence of God.
And I think
let me just explain this. There was something quite interesting I've been observing at the church that I go to. Just a change of subject. And I'm always looking at the credits of these songs as they come up on that thing, looking at it. And I wonder, this is what I'm interested in, I wonder how many black lyricists and composers, their music is actually listed or credited on worship each week on Sunday, globally. See, I look at things deep, you see, I look at the numbers. So when you actually creating, let's talk about sonically, then we talk about sonic benchmark. When you actually creating, what do you think about? Do you think about the instant excitement, you get a few grooves, or do you think about something that is transcending and impacting and going for generations? This brother here will go on for generations because of his sonic brilliance and the standard of his recording that stands the test of time. Take me back. So it's vitally important that when you go into the studio, what frame of mind are you going in the studio with? Are you going in to do your best or extraordinary best, if that's a word? Or are you entering with a spirit of excellence? Because how you feel when you go in the studio determines also what you do, the results.
Yeah.
It's like actually training as an athlete.
Yeah.
One more extra hour can make a difference in your performance. It's the same thing with creativity.
Yeah, man.
One more shift, because there's a point, when you're in the creative space, there's a point where you go to another level which you cannot explain, where the spirit comes in and you shift, where your body becomes in tune with the sonic, with the sound that you're trying to create, and the musicians become in total unison. They syncopate. Synergy.
So do you think we take for granted excellence?
Yes, we do, because excellence. I was listening to an interview where somebody was interviewing the late Miles Davis, and he said, if you didn't become successful in music, would you still do it? He said, I can't stop. Music is in my head all the time. I'm always innovating. This is where the standard going. Listen to this now. The standard is imitate, emulate, and innovate. 3 different levels that master musicians go through. Imitate.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yes. And then
copy the vibes.
Yes, and then they go into imitation, and then they go into innovation. That means you create your own.
Say it again one more time. Say it again.
Okay. Imitation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imitation. Yeah.
Emulation.
That's it, because you said innovation again. Emulation.
You're going up, and then you go into innovation.
So emulation is when you evolve the imitation into your own sound, but you still the fundamentals are still off the groove.
But you still have to go. So you have to go until you.
Click.
Until you reach the point of total mastery.
Yeah, no, cool. I'm good with that. But then that's phase, the true phase.
That is the mastery phase.
Mastery. Yeah. So
innovation.
So again, guys, like
yes.
I'm looking at. I remember I played a CD. I was just driving my car, listening to a CD of the hits from Andraé Crouch.
Yes.
Yeah, guys. I'm gonna do a special Andraé Crouch show just for this, because this is gonna be amongst my Andraé Crouch show. But you got tracks. I'm gonna play it through so you can hear it on the mic, because I don't really want to vibe it with too much.
Well, the thing about it, you have to think about. This is the other thing. We have to be careful with sound and copyright.
So
we can't do anything.
Too
you have
clear.
to actually do it when you're doing your radio.
Right.
Anytime we're doing video and so on,
we want to keep it clear. Because
especially right at this moment, what we're having now, we're having quite an interesting amount of people viewing and listening to what we're doing. And one of the dangerous things is that one of the dangerous things actually. Dangerous thing is that is when you start using a track and the publishing house and so on see it and people trying to make a claim on it, and because the way our YouTube work actually, everything has to be kept clean. There has not have to be any sonic thing that is recognizable to a certain track.
Yeah.
Right?
So
you got to keep it clear.
So,
We will refer you to actually listen to it yourself,
okay, cool,
to do your research.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or recommended track. That's what I do in my books. I actually,
Reference.
each section, I give recommended tracks and why I recommend you to listen to them.
So,
Yes.
based upon getting rebuked right there. No, I get it. Just we're not gonna play these things. But like we talked about Take Me Back. So I've just gone to the Light Records Classic EP that's on Tidal. Yeah, that I'm looking on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But obviously that's gonna be available on Spotify and stuff like that still. Yeah, and I think what's happened is that there's
don't forget
like,
Through It All.
So
there's another classic.
Through All.
Yes.
And my tribute. So that my tribute song. That's the one that I talk about. The one that does that lovely start to song. If Heaven Was Never Promised to Me. Now I don't know that one.
Well, when you play it, it might trigger over. Because I listen to them. Yeah.
Bringing Back the Sunshine.
Yes.
And what makes a man turn his back on God? Woo! He had some. You know what is? He's had some. You know what? I was listening to some of his songs. Like I've listened to his songs, and like lyrically, it's like it's blatant. Yo, like get to know Jesus, like blatant. You know what I'm saying? Through all you got satisfied. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know what I mean? Leave the devil alone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know. Okay. So you got tunes. He wasn't. He was in a field where he was the man. He was mixing in with other people out wider, and he had secular people working on his projects, but he's keeping it 100, his vibe, and they were enjoying. And sometimes we think we have to blend our music to invite top musicians or let down our lyrics. Yeah, no, we do a thing. They want to join with the excellence.
Well, okay, this is we're going back to it again. Excellence is excellence, regardless of where you go. Right? And regardless of the person's musical taste, etc. They know when something is excellent, extraordinary. The same C note, it's the same C note, but it's your DNA and your interpretation. What you look. There's many top-end keyboardists, but the really top-end ones, you know them by the way they play. Playing the same C, but there's something going on with the C when his fingers touch that C button. Do you understand? Do you see the mystery behind it?
Yeah.
Playing the same
cool.
rhythm guitar. It's playing the same rhythm same rhythm guitar, but yet each rhythm guitarist, like the James Jameson and Philip Church from Chicago, James Jameson from Detroit, they're all playing same instruments, are the rhythm guitarists. You have David Hood from Muscle Show, brilliant bass player. You know when he's playing on bass compared to James Jameson. You know when Louis Johnson is playing on bass because he got a different bass rhythm pattern. Right, look. This is deep, you know. It's
my goodness,
it's very deep.
Andraé Crouch, bro, bro, you know, when you play tune after tune after tune after tune, I'm looking at these album covers, bro. The man take up time, man. Like this is a work of a genius. And you know what? I think sometimes in the UK, because unless you went out diligently, these records weren't like totally out there available, like the vinyls. It would have to be a season at a time you would get your hands on it.
Well, I mean, if you're like me, I do head hunting. You see, I have the key people, and they know me. They know what I'm looking for. I have 3 shops in the city of London I go to.
They go to, yeah.
And a few, and then I have in the neighbourhood, and I know what I'm looking for, and I tell them, and I negotiate with them. So I'm willing to buy it, give me a deal. Anyhow, and I let them know that I'm a music historian and I'm promoting certain records. I said, fine, promote my shop.
Cool.
So we have to know we have to be confident in ourselves and in our space.
But has the digital era made us very lazy? Because before, people would be going to shops and going like this, I don't know what's coming out next. And you go down, you listen to music and whatever. Digital era, and you're there. You know what I'm saying? But there's more music available.
Yes,
it's more available, but it's made us lazy.
Yeah. But today, vinyl is very popular now because H&M is back in City of London in Oxford Street. H&M shop is open again.
H&M?
Yeah.
H&M?
Yes. I go to H&M now.
I thought it was H&B.
No.
H&M.
H&B, yes, it's H&B, not H&M.
H&B. Oh, okay.
Thinking about the retail shop. Yeah, sorry.
H&B. So H&B, and I remember Virgin being an important part of Virgin Music Store. And I think, I think they just never reinvented themselves as music evolved. I think they got very lazy, like Blockbuster, and then basically get swept away. If they were more on it, there would have been more. It would have been more. I think they would have done much more better.
Well, if they created, and you think back in hindsight now, if they created a digital platform shop where the digital capacity there, and reduces the size and so forth. There's always ways around it, but there's nothing beautiful and special is when you're holding a masterpiece vinyl in your hands and you're looking at it. You're looking.
Vinyls come back in, man.
And yes, and that's why and then you turn over and looking at the credits.
Cool.
Well, because we've got these.
Right. So guys, before, because this is gonna be different parts, and I think we're just gonna dedicate this part to the crouches because we're going over time right now still. Yeah. So let's flip over to we talk about the influences into the Hawkins, Danny Bell, but also we cannot deny the impact of his sister, who is sometimes seen as the quiet one that never really did anything much apart from support her brother. But when you check it out, Sandra Crouch did a bit more than just support her brother. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, Sandra Crouch, I believe we got something around here, but look, got Sister Sandra Crouch on. I don't know if you want to show the crowd out there, Sandra Crouch.
Yes, this is the actual classic that actually saved Light Records from going bankrupt.
Woo! I never knew you were going to go there, Okay, that's the backside of it.
Right. This album was the album that gave her a Grammy Award.
So I have to be fast.
Yes, a Grammy Award. There's not much, you should see the credits on the back of it. Whoa. Right, let's just talk about it. Produced by Sandra Crouch and Andraé Crouch. Ooh. It came out in 1985 on Light Records.
85, So Light Records was functioning from the 70s and 60s because of
late 60s,
late 60s through that. So they were going through a downpour because her brother lift the thing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when her brother was going a bit quiet in the 80s, because he's doing some stuff with Michael Jackson and stuff. Because he was there, he's busy. And doing big gigs.
He's doing
big gigs.
What you calling creative diversification.
Okay, cool. Is that professional way of going?
Okay.
Anyway, so
let's look at it. Right. Production coordinator, and production assistants, different people.
Make sure you can see.
Yes, I can see. Okay, so they need to see. Beg your pardon. They need to see me when I'm talking, right? And look at these, brother. Glorify the Lord. Yes, glorify the Lord. Yeah.
Praise His holy. Is it that one?
Yeah.
Do you know what, guys? That was the 80s.
Nothing but the blood. I always love you. God has a plan. Completely yes. Yes, Lord. Completely yes. That's the classic.
I say yes. Your yes to your will. That one.
Yes, Lord.
Oh,
completely yes.
Oh,
that's the one. That's the classic. Look at the people on bass.
Now, guys, this is a serious and you know what? Still, and I think you know what. Black women in gospel. We always talk about empowering women in the music world, in the singing world. I really do think. We're celebrating Sandra Crouch right now. I know we talked a lot about Andraé Crouch because yes, this is the time where maybe it was more fashionable for the brother, to be seen above his sister because of the way the world was in the 60s. But it came to the 80s now, and she's took an opportunity.
Well, let's put it this way.
Go on, talk to me.
Let's put it this way.
'Cause
When we
you was
look
about
at the
them times.
80s, look at the 80s, the Janet Jackson explosion, the Whitney Houston, where they became, many of them, they were selling more than their male counterparts.
So really, 70s the males were dominant, but then the women come through.
The
Really.
explosion, because let's look at Madonna. Madonna's first album was produced by black guys. Would you believe it? And that sold 6 million copies.
Mate. She got a black child.
That's right. I understand that. But I'm just telling you the influence of our brothers and sisters, you know?
Yeah. No, but I feel that.
And we will go to that because we're going to talk about, at some point, we're going to talk about the sonic character of these studios.
Okay, we're gonna go into there. Just Andrea, just gonna wanna really hit hard on this Sandra Crouch.
Yes, go with Sandra Crouch. Yes.
So Sandra Crouch, was she about in the first? She was part of the Disciples.
Oh
originally.
My goodness! Special thanks to Quincy Jones. I forgot that she worked with Quincy Jones. But go. Yeah.
See, this is guys. This is what I'm saying to you, man. Like, Quincy, is this really fair? Is this really fair? We always talk about Quincy Jones like he doesn't know nothing about gospel music.
Really?
He's involved in gospel music.
He's deep
You know what I'm
in it,
saying?
bro.
You know what I'm saying? So so when you got a problem with top producers just tweaking your track to excellence, where listen, he's helped produce hits. You know what I'm saying? God can use anybody to make something sweet, man.
Okay, another thing too, before Sandra Crouch became what you call a solo artist in her own right, she was doing background recording activity or supporting in the studio for many of the artists on the West Coast. She worked on the Jackson 5 and many other artists. She was hired by Motown to do studio work on the West Coast. And she worked, you can hear her influence as a percussionist on many hits that have been transatlantic hits, like, for instance, I Want You Back. Want You Back.
So this is crazy now, and I think I know a lady, a big woman. I don't call her a lady, a young lady. Not young lady, but she's a big woman to me. But she's not big woman. But you know what I mean.
Yes,
Ruth Eyeball, and she's very much into the percussion field. And when she always was into percussion, you're thinking, that's not really a girly thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they're still But then when you look at it, Sandra Crouch just do this a long time, and I think so I really want to not so much, I'm not going to say that we're going to liberate women by what we're saying, but we're just highlighting the impact that women have had on gospel music, not from the fact of just singing soprano in a choir and singing a few solos, but they have been in the forefront, in the background. And I think some of the elements, what I love in stateside is they understand the value of delivering their creativity on the recorded tracks. That performance is part of the delivery. The real delivery is on the recorded tracks. And I really want us in the UK to really debunk, because we always love doing sessions. Yeah? Sessions are finished when you get paid after the night. The real work is who is recording the track. The recording musicians and the recording singers are the ones, and it's not all about, we know about money, we know money, but the ones who get remembered over time. If you perform on the night as a singer, great stuff. You get your money up front, and you're good, and you go home. But that season will end. And the person, every night that they sing that performance, not only you get money, but also the people who recorded the track originally will get money technically from PPIs, the word and whatsoever. So all these things are important, and these gospel artists back then already understood that, and they were delivering their creative footprint. Is that the word?
Sonic footprint.
Sonic
footprint.
Again, guys, I get told off for years. So again, I want to emphasize this is me learning here still. Yeah. So Sonic, the Sonic footprint is reaching out, and it still reach out to today. So that is what you call legacy, and it starts not when you're 55, 60, 80, and you decide to record your memoirs. It starts from when you're little bit and you start to build up your legacy,
your journey, your creative journey.
You start it from early, and too often in our community, especially the Afro-Caribbean community, we start to build statues in our 60th and our 70th year when we in the age bracket, and not in our 20s when we dig foundation. We're not digging foundation, so we build up quick statues that let's fall over in the wind.
Yeah. The thing about it is, what is very important, as you listen to the Quincy Jones and respective people, is to become a student of the business part of it. And not only that, is to be very concerned about understanding the entire recording process and what it actually entails. Fundamental, how the different components, I call it part of the creative engine, this creative engine sound, components of it. And if there is in a recording, or say aircraft engine or any engine respectively, if certain components are missing, it will not function. It might not even start. It might not even. It's just the only time a Rolls Royce is very effective is when all its components are working, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
Yeah.
Good. Now, all right. Going back to the lady Sandra Crouch.
So finish it.
The breadth of her influence is remarkable, because she does coaching behind the scene. She was also a minister too, She was a joint minister with her brother in the church. So she's very active in mentoring, active in discipleship, right? And she's always there with her brother. So they're joint force. Where Andrew Crouch was, Andraé Sandra was. Where Sandra was, Andraé was. Joint, they're like a dual force. Right. This particular album was created an anthem, really, in its time. It was another benchmarking album in terms of where the new sisters on the block, the new gospel future gospel artists, they learn from this. These are templates.
Yeah. Got you.
Templates. Right. Okay. Let us look at what she and her brother did on this track, on this album. Jessy Dixon's classical album, It's All Right. Okay. Let's look at.
Andrew Crouch got something to do.
Yes, Andrew Crouch was on it. Look, there it is. Bill Maxwell and Andrew Crouch. Andraé Crouch producing. I was telling you. That's why I show you that. So I was telling you about it. It's part of the West Coast, you see? All the same brothers that worked on Andrew Crouch stuff.
There's Andrew Crouch next to
There's
it.
Andrew Crouch, and there's Bill Maxwell there. And there is the background female. I've seen these female live. Amazing.
Okay. So let's hold this up. This is...
Yes. This is
Jessy Dixon,
this is it.
man. That's him back in the day.
I'm expecting to see him. You remember that track? He'll be there. Anybody who understands those classics. Father me. I'm satisfied. Boy, Jesus. Wow. Hold on. It's all right. Wow. Come to me, Lord. You've been so good to me. Born again. He has done great things. He has done great.
Oh,
listen,
my
bruv,
God.
bruv.
Jeez.
These is what you call classic.
No way.
Yeah. Hear what Diana Ross says about
Yeah.
him. There's an element in Jesse's music that cannot be mistaken. That element is love. And wow, do I feel it.
Jeez.
This is what Lady Natalie Cole says. Knowing him so short, loving him so long, Jesse's music is just like him. Beautiful. Leon Sayer. Jessy sings as sweet as a bird. It's quite true, actually. And Paul Simon, you read what Paul Simon says.
It says here, I always look forward to working with Jessy Dixon. He has a rare and joyous musical gift. I have always loved gospel music, and during the years I have been associated with Jessy Dixon's singers, my appreciation for gospel has grown. Paul
Because
Simon.
remember, these people used to back up Mr. Paul Simon.
Wow.
Yes. So this is one of the serious album that came out from the West Coast. See,
Light Records.
Yes, at Light Records at the Studio 55, Hollywood, California. Famous Studio 55. And look at it, these are top end sound engineers. All these brothers, they're the best. They're some of the best on the West Coast. And some of it is being done. Some of it is being done in Chicago, Illinois as well. So some of it is recorded in. Some of the stuff is done in Chicago, and then some of the stuff is done in LA. But most of it is LA sound.
Wow. This is crazy, guys. This is the Andraé Couch legacy thing.
This is the Andraé Couch. And don't forget, we forgot, we don't have the Whiners, but we have the Whiners.
We'll get to the Whiners next. The next. Yeah, we still got Hawkins to go through. I don't know if we have to wait for the next show to do the next part, bro, because we're going over time here. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about it, when Andraé Couch started in the gospel as a professional, the industry was doing the gospel industry in its entirety was doing between $50 to $80 million.
Okay.
You know, that would be, $50 to $80 million. That would be two of the major black influencer cities, like, for instance,
go on.
Memphis. Memphis in the late 60s will be doing 30 million, right? And then if you put Chicago in it, which does about the same amount, will be they're doing the entire gross of the gospel industry, if you comparison. Just to show you how small it was in its infancy. And also, don't forget that the institution that monitors and lobby for the gospel industry, Gospel Music Association, started in 1965.
Jeez.
A few years before Andraé Couch kicked in and James Cleveland and so on.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that coincidence?
It is a coincidence. And also as well, when Andraé Couch came into prominence and so on, started to accelerate, he came in at least 2 years afterwards when the music industry in general hit the $1 billion mark. So there's a lot of
sonic movement going on.
Going on.
Yeah, man.
Because Aretha Franklin was beginning to kick it at 67. Andraé Couch came 2 years afterwards with his sonic expression.
Wow.
There's a lot of things going on. You know, as they begin to
love their hot chocolate, man.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So there you are. So each of these things I'm talking about are sonic benchmarks that enrich and influence the future kids on the block. Future creatives, rather.
Brilliant. And I think, guys, you know, we're gonna get into the Hawkins in the next part because, like, we have really got. Andraé Couch could do 2 parts, to be honest. You know what I mean?
You could do 3 parts because sonically, when I can say 3 parts, his involvement in industry as a coach, And, you know, I mean, he did Back on the Block for Quincy, 89. Tomorrow We Bring Better Days. Well, anyhow, let's even start with that. And
yeah, man. His albums for jokes. He's got loads of albums, and we want to break it down. And I think in the future shows we find out some great stats. We will definitely put it out there. And I think that I think, guys, you know, just Andrew Couch is absolute. Andrew Couch and his sister, who's no sidekick at all, have 100%. They left us now, but they left a legacy that we can talk about them with passion. Listen, these guys had their, you know, I mean, they're not perfect human beings. We're not here before people put in the comments and oh wow, so and so fell here. You know, these okay, but we're just looking here to discuss their legacy. The legacy shows the positivity and the impact that gospel music had in this world. In the 60s, going right into right now, because it affects us right now because we still play a lot of the music.
That's right.
We still sing the music in our churches. We sing the music in not only white churches, not only black churches, but in white Pentecostal churches. They sing Andraé Couch's songs with passion. Jessy Dixon is also a guy who's transcended that realm. So it shows you that sound has worked creatively and it's worked its way into the hard back of the Pentecostal Bible Belt. But they sing songs that were created by black people. I bet you often not even realize that, but our people have been integral in the part of development of praise and worship. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when we too busy looking at trying to resound ourselves to somebody else, no, let's do us. If we do us with excellence, we will make a massive change. But this is Roger alongside Kevin Tomlin, looking into black music history. We have just such a scrape the surface. We just quick shave off the thing still. Yeah, we haven't got any.
Yes.
But the next show, guys, we'll be going into the Hawkins. And we'll be prepping up for that and going into that, man. So, guys, nothing but love. Kevin, thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go into this, people, yeah? Blessings, people.
Blessings.
Hey, this is your bishop. This is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.